Hello and welcome back to UIE TV channel. Please subscribe our channel to get further videos automatically in your inbox. Historians will likely rank Trump as one of the worst presidents. CNN Poll of the Week, a new Gallup poll puts President Donald Trump's approval rating at 38%. His disapproval rating stands at 57%. The average poll similarly shows Trump's approval rating hovering around 40%, while his disapproval rating is above 55%. What's the point? Trump's approval rating isn't getting any better.
Everyone loves to say that the polls got it all wrong in 2016, but that's not entirely the case. What kind of lessons did we learn from the polling of 2016 that we can apply to the 2020 presidential race? Take a look at the final results of the 2016 presidential election. Hillary Clinton had some 3 million votes more than Donald Trump. The polling leading up to the election told that story. Across the last 4 months of the election, Hillary Clinton at 47%, Donald Trump at 43%, well within this margin of error of 2.5 to 3.5 points. Pay attention to this. These numbers are not exact, and you need to think about that error margin as you're thinking about each candidate's number in a poll when you read it. Take a look at Michigan. Michigan is a state that Donald Trump won by a razor-thin margin. But what were the final polls saying about Michigan in the lead up to the election? Hillary Clinton 42%, Donald Trump 38%. This is at the margin of error. This poll should be seen as it's anybody's game. The other thing to note here, of course, is the huge undecided. Add up 42 and 38, you get 80%. There's 20% more of the electorate out there. And what we know from the exit polls is that late deciders broke to Donald Trump, specifically in those critical states of Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. What I want to show you from the 2016 exit poll is look at Donald Trump's advantage with whites with no college degree. They were 34% of the electorate. That's a big chunk. And he wins them overwhelmingly. But it's in this category that you have to be on the lookout for in 2020 polls. Are the polls properly weighting for education? There's a paragraph in every publicly released poll by a neutral, valid polling organization that tells you how the interviews were conducted, how many. It's really important to look for polls that are polling 65% or higher on cell phones. Obviously, that's how most people are responding. The news in any poll you want to look for is a change over time. What is the trend? Take a look just at the 2020 Democratic primary polling over the course of this year, starting even in 2018. What's the story that these numbers tell? So you want to look for trends when you're looking in polling, as opposed to weighting everything into just one poll, one day, that just really is just a snapshot in time.
In the polls, he is continuing to lose to former Vice President Joe Biden by double digits. Trump could win a second term, but there is no clear path to doing so. If Trump does go on to lose in November, he doesn't just need to worry about losing to Biden. Trump needs to worry about the fact that the history books are probably going to put him down as a below-average president, if not one of the worst. While I have my problems with historical rankings of presidents as an exercise, for example, the graders tend to be far more liberal than the population at large, they are a good guide into understanding how history remembers presidents. The presidents viewed at the top of the lists, George Washington and Abraham Lincoln historically, or near the top, Ronald Reagan, tend to be thought of fondly. Meanwhile, those that are near the bottom of the list, such as James Buchanan and Andrew Johnson, are generally thought of as failures as president. The biggest factor separating those who rate highly and those who don't is whether they win a second term in office. Take a look at an average ranking by experts in the 2018 American Political Science Association poll and 2018 Siena College poll. The average ranking for presidents who win a second term is 14th. That's well above average given we've had 44 presidents. None ranked lower than 32nd, George W. Bush. The best was the top spot overall, Washington. The average for presidents who did not win a second term is 30th. That's well below average. None of the presidents who didn't have a second term ranked higher than 13th, John Kennedy, who was assassinated. The worst was last overall, Buchanan. Just on this basis alone, you'd think that Trump would probably go down as below average if he lost in November. We wouldn't know quite where he'd land, but it'd be a pretty good bet that he wouldn't finish in the top half. I'd bet Trump would dip even lower given where the historians already have him. The average of the APSA and Siena polls put Trump at 43rd, which ties him for last with Buchanan. At the time the APSA poll was published, I urged caution since it was one poll done early in Trump's presidency. Now, we have the Siena poll as well. Additionally, more voters by far said Trump was the worst president since World War II in a 2018 Quinnipiac University poll. Few ranked him as the best, which is very different from a similar poll taken during Obama's second term. Importantly, these early rankings are generally predictive of later rankings in a look back at presidents since Franklin Roosevelt. The first modern presidential ranking was completed 3 years after he last held office. Since 1948, the final historian rankings of a president during their time in office, or the first after they leave office, has differed from their current ranking by just 4 spots. The median difference has been a mere 2 spots. The presidents who tend to improve the most, such as Dwight Eisenhower, are ones who get that second term. Now, there is obviously some chance Trump could be ranked higher than at the end of 2018. I tend to doubt it, though, because his standing among the public is not any better now than it was then. All told, historians at the end of his first term are likely going to view Trump quite negatively. His only real chance of seeing improvement is to earn that second term, which seems to be something that is becoming less likely by the day. Thanks for watching Universal Information and Entertainment TV. Please like and subscribe our channel for more updated videos, news, information and entertainment. See you in next video. Stay tuned.